Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this week's meeting of Essex Business Forum. My name's David Squire. I'm supposed to get you through the agenda, which I will try very hard to do. Before launching the format of the meeting, Mike Skinner's back. Yay! So it's nice to see you back. We're aligned as well. Right, next. Sarah's back for a second time. Welcome, Sarah. And she has made an application to join, but still certainly within the members list, but she has yet to be fully approved. That will happen, no doubt, by next week. And finally, Darren is here with us, and he has been approved. Right, let's get underway. Start off with the leadership team. Please be understanding. Introduce yourself.
Morning guys, Ben, Education Coordinator. And Chief Timekeeper.
Where are we going?
Let's go that way.
All right. Chairwoman of the Membership Committee, supported by a team of others.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Terry, and I normally deal with membership and recruitment matters, but Aidan's stepping for me today. How's people?
And I'm your social secretary.
There you are.
Good morning. I got your meeting secretary, Hugo Stats, and has some face at Downton.
Just before you sit down, nothing I have said will detract from the formality of what Terry's going to say in dealing with your membership. Please be seated. Right, so getting the meeting underway in the usual way, we start with the performance lead. Scott is a bit better. He's up and down. He's up and down today. Scott.
Okie dokie. So, yes, welcome to June. May is now concluded as a performance lead month. And really terrific scores, everybody. I think all bar a small handful of members, everyone's not just hit, but smashed well beyond that 88 points target that we will try to achieve. So well done on that. Let me go from the third place. 287 points scored for one of the pools, Paul Corrigan. Third, a square, around 300 points, second place, Stuart Smallcombe. But the winner, 338 points, and owner of this lovely new certificate, Mr. Matt Barry. Normal service has resumed. So I shall pass Matt's certificate along with this as it goes around. Well done.
And as that goes down, look at that. Envy it and make sure you're at the top this week, so you can go. Right, education presentation. Thank you.
So, good morning everybody. So never underestimate the power of relationships within networking, but also within your business. So in business, people don't just buy products or services. They buy trust, they buy credibility and connections. And that all starts with the relationships that you build while we're at the meeting. So why do relationships matter? They build that trust, they help you improve your communication, and they support long-term success, whether that's with your clients, whether that's with suppliers, your colleagues, but strong relationships will always open more doors. Now, we all get challenges, and especially if we all work with people that have those challenges with the people you've got those relationships with, they're going to be easier to smooth over those challenges because of your relationships. And it increases loyalty. Because people are more likely to do business if they know, like, and trust. But it's not just all about the sale. Think about long-term business now. Because not every connection that we meet, that we make through networking with our clients, they don't lead immediately to business. they will take time, and this is why it's keeping that relationship strong there. Because every genuine interaction that you have with another person, whether that's a hello, a quick chat here, that's all a seed planted into building long-term relationships. And that will drive repeat business, a lot more referrals, and strategic opportunities. So how can we build these relationships quicker? Well, show a genuine interest in others. Listen more than you speak, James. And just remember, we've got 2 of these, and 1 of these for a reason. Follow up. When you get a referral as well, treat that thing as the most important thing of your day. Offer help to people with no strings attached. And very important, and I'm kind of preaching to the choir here, be visible and be consistent in your attendance. Because obviously if you're not here, then you might not get remembered. But small gestures that can really help bring relationships forward and build that trust over time. So in a world of automation and algorithms, I can never say that word, it's the relationships that sets us apart. So the question is not just what do you do, it's who you are building with. Because business is personal. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ben. Excellent as always. Membership matters.
Nice saying.
Go on. Go for it.
Thank you very much, Aidan. Yeah, a couple of things going on. Renewals, which is always quite nice, and Jane's been active, haven't you, as the chair of the membership committee. So we've got 2 renewals we've dealt with in the last few days. John Hammond, long-standing member, which is great. Who's the other one? I can't remember who the other one is. Some bloke turns up occasionally. Oh, it's him, yeah, Matt Barry. So, Mike, welcome to for another year. It's great to have you on board. The other important part of this is to welcome. We welcomed Darren last week. Now we're going to officially welcome him. With my lovely certificate. Catherine, thank you, Catherine.
Thank you very much.
And your,
Thank you very much, everyone.
and it's, we'll get back to shortly. We're almost there. We're just waiting on one thing, I think. So who's actually paid for done? So be prepared, Tom.
Thanks, Terry. Brilliant. Okay. We now move inexorably towards the 62nd round, where you will be having Ben in action. Before we do, let's pass that round all the quickly bits of paper and that the business card box. Please make sure you're adequately represented in there. Taking half in mind to make referrals. And Ben on the bell, and Paul Deleu is standing in for last week's Oscar winner, and he will be lifting hard. He will go first. He will be making the award at the end of the 62nd round. So, without more ado, let's get underway. Paul kicks us off and is next.
Good morning, Paul Deleu, Essex Celebrants. We help you celebrate life's moments of love, loss, and good feelings. I had an interesting telephone call on Friday. At the moment in my business, I'm only really focusing on funerals, but I had a phone call on Friday. Gentleman with his partner getting married in July. Left it a little bit late. But wondering whether I could meet with them to talk about being a celebrant of their wedding. Absolutely delighted to ask. Check the date on record, but that's fine. What was really interesting is when I asked him how he found out about me, and he said, actually, it's through your website. It's through the fact that I Googled Celebrant Essex, and he came off the top. He had some really lovely Google reviews, words on the website, and it just resonated with what we were about. All credit to Scott on that, because in very quick order, a few weeks ago, he got a holding page up for me while we worked on the website, and I'm delighted that people are finding it and it's resonating. So, all the Essex Celebrant. Thank you.
Thank you. Aren't we all? Melissa, you're next, and you're followed by the next Paul Curlin.
Good morning, everybody. Melissa Jackson, Kenworth Masters, licensed insolvency practitioner. As you know, I deal with both individuals and companies in financial distress, and we do full insolvency procedures, like liquidations and administrations. A lot of the work that we do is just advice-based, and it's around avoiding insolvency. So an example of that was a gentleman that I dealt with this week, who's 75. They actually got £75,000 worth of unsecured debt. He has no or very little income, but has lots of assets. He's got equity in his property, and we're working with him to do an informal arrangement with his creditors. Hopefully that will mean that he can retain his property and they can pay back a percentage of what he owes over a period of time and then accept that income from the top. So what I'm looking for is referrals for people that maybe run into difficulty and don't necessarily have the income to pay their creditors in full. That's Melissa Jackson with my classes. Licensed insolvency practitioner.
Thank you very much, Melissa. Paul, you're next, followed by.
Good morning all, Paul from Silverton Under Heating. It's been an expensive week for me this week. I've had a couple of vans go down, automatic gearbox and the drive shaft on another vehicle, so that's set me back a bit. And then I went paddleball on Saturday, fell in straight away and lost my glasses. So yeah, that's set me back a few £100 as well, so I'm trying to pick that up. But yeah, so basically I'm asking you help to get some of that money back. Anything from a dripping tap to a full bathroom install, anything from a complicated boiler repair, to a full heating install. Yeah, to help with the overheads and me being a dickhead. Anyway, thanks for listening. Paul from Silverton.
Maybe a social event. We'll go to where you were paddleboarding and we'll all do.
Yeah.
You volunteer.
Someone said what it cost for my glasses being cheap as how I am scuba diver.
A balanced view. Thank
That's
you.
it, yeah.
Paul. Matt, you're next, followed by James.
So good morning all, Matt from Blue Seraph. Now, with the current vacancy of printer at the moment, I know I did put a message out. I've had a chat with the leadership team and they're happy. And I'm because we do a lot of print, but it's not really a main service for us, so it's not a big thing. But if you need print, please do just come for the time being until we find a printer for the group. Please do come to me. I can, at the very least, if you've got existing stuff and you just want some print, I can advise you where to go. I don't. It's not a money-making scheme for me at all. Like I don't. It's not a core part of our business. If you need help with obviously design and artwork, then that is part of what we do. But I can, at the very least, whether you're looking for just some quick leaflets, I can advise you where to get those from. Whether it's business card reprints, I can do all that. But whether it's bigger stuff, I can help. Just advise you. So yeah, please do get in touch if you've got any questions or help.
Matt, thank you very much indeed, and thank you very much indeed from all of us, and we'll bear that in mind going forward. And James, you're next. Radio 2's greatest supporter, and you're followed by Joshua.
Yeah, for those of you that weren't involved in our very short small conversation, I've got to the age now, I'm going to the Radio 2 Roadshow this year. But anybody that looks at the lineup, I defy you to say it's not amazing. But anyway, I also do insurance every now and again. So property owners insurance in particular, so anything residential, commercial. In particular, if you know any property management companies, they quite often manage the insurance on behalf of the property owners, and it's very easy to speak to them. And they get some money off us as well for every case that we do on their behalf. So it's like an introducer type deal. So if you know anybody that is involved in a property management company or preferably owns one, put us together. And I will talk to him about Radio 2. James, Brentwood.
Thank you. Joshua, you're followed by Mike.
Good morning everyone, it's Joshua from JDC Studio. Chartered architect helping my clients unlock the value of their properties. Just want to talk to you about a client that I'm currently helping. So most people are familiar with something called big development rights. So that's basically where it's a type of application where you're almost guaranteed approval, providing you can fix the criteria that's pre-given, which is quite rare because often planning is a bit of a minefield and you're not quite sure what you're going to be permitted for. What a lot of people don't realise, especially when it comes to the point of buying a property, you might buy something that's already been extended and think, oh, that's great, I might want to remodel, but extensions that you inherit can take away what you can then add to a property. So a classic example of that is my client bought a property that was extended by 3 metres, and under permitted development they could do a 6 metre back extension, but they've actually effectively lost 3 metres of that 6 metres because of the existing extension that's in place. And on top of that, this extension has no foundation. So what we're having to do is be very strategic in how we extend and then reinforce the shoddy work we've done. So if you know anyone who would like to work with somebody who's technical and can help them unlock the potential, get in touch. Thank you.
Thank you, Joshua. So next is Mike. He's followed by Ben.
Good morning, everyone. It's lovely to be back. Except for the early morning part. We'll talk about that in a bit. For any new faces, I'm Mike. I run Multimedia. I provide videography, photography, and drone content, focusing on business content and event coverage. From small team and shop photo shoots to bigger advertising projects, trade stand imagery, or complete website content revamps, I can work with companies of all different budgets. I can also put together staff training or health and safety videos, product explainers and FAQs for websites. I can help you advertise for new staff, and then I can help you onboard them when you find their staff. Or create stylish product shots and videos to work on different media types. So as you're aware, I've been absent for a while, working, travelling, and get to play on the big broadcast cameras, which has been fantastic. But it's left the diary a little bit quiet, so I'm really looking to get speaking to companies as quickly as possible. So if you know any businesses whose websites are looking a little bit shabby or need a revamp, or any other contexts, I'll be much appreciative. And I've also got time for any one-to-ones if anyone wants to know more. So thank you. Mike at Blackman's video.
Thank you very much, Mike. Ben, you're next, and you're followed by Leanne.
So, good morning, guys. Ben Golden from Utility Warehouse, and I help people to save money on their essential household utilities. Now, what would you do if I gave you £2,000? Would you have a lot of green teas with Jane? Would you go away for the weekend shooting with Blake? Well, on Tuesday this week, I helped somebody save just under £2,000 simply by switching their energy, their broadband, and 4 mobile SIMs over to UW. Plus, I've now got them fixed energy that is £230 below the July cap, and saving even more money by shopping with our unique cashback card. So, this week, I'm looking to speak with people that would like a non-obligation chat to see if I can help them to save money with the UK's cheapest, the UK's most awarded, and the UK's most trusted utility company. That's Ben Golding, Utility Warehouse. 59 seconds.
Nice to see you. I'm keeping you honest, Ben. Thank you very much, Leanne. You're followed by Terry.
Good morning, everyone. As you know, I'm an interior designer. I had a final meeting with a client last night with all final samples and floor plans and everything, and she got really excited. Now, that's what I really enjoy. Sorry, working with my clients, seeing it all come together. They have them seeing all the samples together, what it's going to look like, and she was like a kid in a sweet shop, you know, and that just makes me glow. So if you know anyone that would like something done in their home, whatever room it is, preferably not kitchen, but any room in their home that they want to feel excited about, that they want something wonderful, bring them to me because I can take the stress and the worry. And she was asked the other day, why do you need an interior designer? You've got ideas. And she said, because I haven't. My room would just be white. It would just be bland. It would just be boring because I'm not brave enough. Well, I've managed to push her out of her comfort zone, and she's gone for a pretty amazing bathroom, and I can't wait to get pictures of it, Paul, when it's finished. So if you know anyone looking for an amazing space, put them in touch with me, please.
Brilliant. Thanks, Leanne. Right. Sorry, Terry, I can't read. All my glasses aren't working as well. You did begin with T. You did begin with T, but it's Toby.
Hi everybody. Yeah, sometimes the smartest move in business is knowing when not to fight a battle. One of my clients is a VA, and she's got a directory of VAs, a recent business that she started up, and it's been running for just under a year or so. She's put a lot of time into the branding, getting it all out there. And I got a desperate phone call from her last week saying that she'd got an email from somebody saying basically, your logo is too similar to ours is trademarked, has been for 3 years. So she was understandably upset, but like many business owners, she couldn't see the wood for the trees. She was really zoomed in on all that time that she had invested in it, and she was digging her heels in. So I just asked her one simple question, is this the hill you want to die on? And she sort of stopped for a minute. She goes, yeah, you're right. So we're getting a rebranding, new logo, putting time and energy into that rather than focusing on other things. And I said, yeah, we can say some shit like, our branding is involved just like our values and our services. That's actually exactly what I said to her. So that's what I do. I help people see the bigger picture and focus on what's important.
Thanks, Toby. Right, after all that excitement, I've forgotten who the next person is. And the next person, Sarah. Do make a right on there. Sarah, you're followed by Catherine.
So last week I prepared something and I didn't look at it, and this week I haven't prepared anything and I don't know what I'm going to say. So hello to everybody that wasn't here last week. I'm Sarah, and hello to everyone who was here too. Orbital Assistance Services, reasonably brand new business. So really just looking for any clients and anybody that might want to have a conversation about what I can do for them. It's not always obvious to us. We don't know what we don't know, obviously. So sometimes you don't necessarily think I need help with this, but it's more telling me about the problems and seeing how I think I can fix them. A couple of things, because other people have mentioned them, which has brought them back up into my consciousness. Property management. So my history is 25 years working in law firms. My passion is real estate law. I'm just a bit of a nerd for it. I love the tangibility of property, of things that used to be something and now something else, or knowing that you're doing something that people are going to really use or live in or work in. I think it's really fascinating. So if anybody knows anybody like that needs any help at all, I love property, I love developers and stuff like that, but really, so Sarah Smith, Orbital Assistance Services, thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. Before I go on, it occurs to me to remind you all, please, could you improve your writing? Catherine.
Is that Tracy's?
Yeah.
You just completely ruined my whole.
It is entirely crazy. I think your writing is please.
It won't be on that, actually. Catherine Foley, English tutor class, so we're going to find out this week. So on Tuesday, thank you very much.
We'll tell Tom.
Yeah, please don't say on Tuesday, I was contacted by a parent whose daughter is 16 but doing her A-levels. She's self-taught. She's not been at school since she was 7. And she's doing English language and English literature. It's quite an unusual combination. Schools don't usually let you do both. And she'd had this basically a fraudster tutor. So the tutor had said she could help, said she was experienced, gave her loads of really awful advice, made a complete mess of her coursework. And the mother had apparently been looking for a tutor for ages. I don't know why she hadn't found me, because I have been there in that time, but she'd found me on Google, called me, can I help? Right? Not really, because I don't do English language, and there's only one English literature exam left next week, but I am going to see her today, hopefully, to make sure she's going the right way for this last exam, so that hopefully 30% of her exam is a success. So I'm now going to brand myself a fourth emergency service.
Yeah.
So if you need emergency recovery from English, please contact English Tutor Plus. Thank you.
Thank you. Right. Next up is Darren, and he's followed by Blake.
Darren from Hartlepool Impact. Yesterday, a new government-backed report was released by Small Business Britain, Barclays and the Department of Energy Security and Net Zero. Based on research for 400 SMEs, including some in Essex, micro businesses and sole traders, sectors food, marketing, engineering, retail, professional services and tech. One of the stats I've pulled out is that 67% of small businesses who took one green action directly cut their operational costs across energy, waste, travel and materials. 67% of businesses save money. So Brentwood Pipelines up in Lincolnshire, they got a £4,000 grant. They're now saving nearly £8,000 a year on their energy costs and cut 20 tonnes of emissions. I was at a conference yesterday, and there was a hospitality company. They used to buy 150,000 single-use cups a year. Now they buy 15,000 reusables, and that saves 40 grand. So don't be a full eco warrior. It's just about becoming a smart business, which I'd love to help you with. Darren, hopefully.
Thank you, Darren. Blake, you're followed by Clara.
Good morning, everyone. Blake from Ammo. We had a one-to-one with Jane last week, and she came across with a good point. Why don't we use the smokes for an events? So this week I'm looking for events companies to use the smokes at. If they want any pyrotechnics, anything like that, we can supply it. And also looking into custom balloon decorations as well. So looking for any companies to be in touch with for that, if anyone knows anybody. Toby seems to, which is nice. But yeah, any events, anything really, let me know. I'm so tired, I'm really sorry. Yeah, see you next week.
All I can say, Blake, is I like the suntan. Clara, you're next and you're followed by Dave Moore.
I'm Clara Downton Mortgages and Financial Services. You get the pleasure of my 10 minutes in a little bit, so I won't be sort of dwelling too much on all of that, but just a reminder, we cover all sorts of different types of mortgages. And I've had a couple of inquiries recently with regard to kind of commercial or bridging or that kind of thing. Although I can't directly deal with that, I do have a really great contact, and I've worked with them quite a lot, and they've given really good service to my clients. So if there's anything like that, feel free to give me a call, and I can certainly help you or your clients further with that. So just a reminder that there's quite a lot that I can help with, so feel free to just give me a call, and if I can't help, I will certainly be able to point in this direction or something if you can. So that's Clara Downton Mortgages and Financial Services.
Somebody trying to sabotage you. well done. And we look forward to hearing from you later. Dave, you're next. First Dave Moore. He'll be followed by Dave Roberts.
Morning, everyone. I'm Dave Moore from Moore Limited. We're based in Brentwood, and we specialise in on-floor coverings and tiling. So last week, I went to a job where a builder decided to latex the floor, and this was the outcome of the job. So the top of the photo here, it's all lumpy and bubbles where they've not mixed it properly. They must have mixed it with the bottom of their broom instead of a drill. And the air bubbles where they've not used a spiky roller to get the air out. So that was the first problem we see. Then it got worse for the client. We've done a little bit more digging, and then you can see here, down. As you can see here, this is floating across the subfloor. This is where it's not bonded to the subfloor. So as soon as you stick a bit of flooring on top of that and try and pull it up, it's going to bring the whole latex up with it. So if you want a result like this, different patch with us. I'm Dave Moore from Moore Limited, and we've got you covered.
Thanks, Dave. Right, Dave Roberts is next. He's followed by
Morning, everybody. Dave from Brentwood Electrical. Registered electricians based in Brentwood. This week we've installed a battery storage system for someone. So this enables the customer to store energy during the day and use it overnight at a cheaper rate. So this can be used for people who've got solar systems. Instead of all the excess energy going back to the grid, you can charge up the batteries while the sun's shining. Night time when the solar's not working, it can divert the energy into the house, so it's basically running the house 24/7 from the sun. Also, it doesn't have to only be used for solar. If you've got an off-peak energy tariff, which Ben will put you in touch with, you can charge your batteries up overnight and probably save as an average, probably about £60 a month from charging your batteries overnight and using the energy during the day. So anybody wants to save a bit more money with Ben as well, we can just get in touch and I'll give you a price. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Scott, you're next, and you're followed by Terry.
Good morning, all. Scott from SEO. Quite amazing, no one's mentioned it yet so far. I'm not talking about Christmas, I'm talking about AI. It's a buzzword with been frequent visits in the 60-second round, etc. It's going to consume a very large part of my job over the next probably 2 to 5 years. AI, SEO, search optimization will largely become consumed by AI. But right now, there's a new directive that we're bringing in to manage websites, and it's helping to present your website to AI bots so that ChatGPT can learn about your business and use you in answers. So that all these various different AI bots, not Google bots, not search engine crawlers, but how AI bots can understand your content and help recommend you in their answers and their information. It's a relatively quick and easy thing we can just install, set up, put on your website. It's early stages. All my clients I'm actively doing work for, I'm including that in what we're doing, but it's well worth a look just to help you get out there and make your content appear in AI answers. Scott from SEO, thank you.
Thanks very much, Scott. Terry, you're next. You're followed by John.
Thanks, Aidan. Good morning, everybody. Terry Malin from TM Law. Never mind AI, some of my clients can't cope with ABC. I'll give you a really good example this week. A client wants me to sue someone for some money. It's fine, that's what I do. I love it. I really enjoy it. I enjoy getting the money back and all that sort of thing. However, they sent me the invoices and there was 2 names on them, neither of whom appeared to be a full legal title. So I pinged a nice message back, could you send me the correct full legal title of your client? Came back, it's not on the bottom of the letterhead, and there were still these 2 just random names. They weren't the name of any limited company or a partnership or anything. So then I had to phone the director and said, look, unless you give me the full legal title of the people who owe you the money, I can't recover it. I can't demand money from someone who doesn't owe it. And these 2 random names on the bottom, which one owes you the money? Oh, I'm not sure, I'll have to get back to you. That was Monday. Guess what? I haven't heard from them since. Just a top tip from Terry, if you're going to try and recover money, make sure you invoice your client properly, put the full details on the invoice, the full legal name, and then I can help you get the money back. Terry May, TM Law.
Thank you very much, Terry. John, you're followed by Jane.
Good morning, everybody. This week I want to talk about health and safety executive. They issued a statement this week about fire alarm testing. They went to a care home that had a fire, it's only a small fire, but they're condemning the fire alarm system. And the care home said, we've had it tested. The problem is they've had it tested, and when you actually read the certificate, all it said at the bottom was it's a functionality test. It didn't say it complied to good standards. The fire brigade actually condemned the care home to the extent that they had to get all the residencies removed within 2 weeks until the fire alarm was put right. So the moral of that story, if you want it done right and tested to the British standards, and then give you a set of recommendations of what you need to put right so you comply, give us a shout, because that's what we do. It's John Hammond from JMH Technology, applying technology to security.
Thanks, John. Jane, you're followed by me, who will then be followed by Paul Booth. Jane.
Thank you. Jane from the English Green Tea Company. Does anyone else still have a 6-year-old very much alive inside of them? So I don't know if you've ever seen, I create calendars. This one takes me up to 31st of August, the EBF event, but I'm going right through to June next year. And you'll see colour swathes, that's where I'm going to Africa. Peach is where I'm going to Canada. The point is, it gives me things to look forward to, so I can be excited. And the point of that is, we do gift vouchers for afternoon tea. And they are a great prezi, but it also gives the person more than the afternoon tea delivery to their home. It gives them the excitement of looking forward to it. So I don't think I am the only 6-year-old here. I'm sure there's a little bit in all of us. For you, Grand Prix, it might be different things. But anyway, may I suggest English Green Tea gift vouchers as a wonderful present to people, and they get 2 bites of pleasure, the anticipation and the delivery. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Jane.
Thank you.
Aidan Swire from TM Law. Last week we recorded in my 10 minutes. The Employment Rights Bill going through, where it's got to, likely affects. We had an announcement this week that the committee stage is finished for this until after the next recess, which will mean they won't take up doing anything more with it until the autumn, which means it is unlikely to come into force before the 26th, before 2026. So it's been pushed back even further. Client in this week, basic terms of employment. You've got to have basic terms down in writing. You've got to do it within 10 weeks of somebody starting. They hadn't done. They came to us, a good case, which they're probably going to win. But because they haven't given written contracts, they're going to have to pay for 8 weeks' wages. 8 weeks' wages as a penalty for that. That means it's probably about £8 they'll have to pay anyway. It's making a difference to the decisions they're going to make about going forward. So make sure you keep everybody aware that they must have certain basic terms in writing. That's even required from TM law. What was next?
Good morning, Paul Booth from William Code Chartered Certified Accountants, based in Brentwood. 2 types of common new clients over the last 4 weeks. First of all, ladies who are employed in the city working for big banks. They came to us for personal tax services, earning in excess of 700k per annum, including bonuses. So typically anything from 700 to 1.5 has been quite common. The second thing that's quite common is weekly increases in council tax on second properties, typically holiday homes on the coast. People are selling out, so we're seeing quite a big increase in capital gains tax work, 60-day declarations and calculations. So those are the types of referrals I'm looking for today, please. That's Paul Booth from Breathing Code, Minimize Tax, back to you.
Thank you very much indeed, Paul. That brings our contributions in the 62nd round to an end for this week. Good, basically, blocking your handwriting, good round. I will hand this over to Paul, who will be making the award of the Oscar. Paul, over to you.
Thank you. Hey, having to do this. This doesn't mean I can't win. Really, really good. Really difficult to choose anyone in particular. But particular mentions to Toby. I think it's great advice to fight the right battles. And yeah, sometimes it's just not worth digging heels in and stick to things on the basis of principle. Sarah, first 60 seconds, didn't have much, you were nervous, but absolutely clear and really gave a good idea of what you're about. Scott and his AI bots, I thought it was really interesting. And Terry, incredibly funny considering you were a lawyer. And really, I'm not sure that Mrs. Booth will be so pleased, but really insightful that Paul's looking for well thinking. Actually, this week's Oscar, because it was really insightful, really good use of props, and showing how much he cares about the job he does and how he's going and saw other people's mess ups up. Also, because your 60 seconds have just transformed over the last sort of few months. I think incredible work, Dave. So,
thank you.
Thank you, Paul. And excellent choice. Well done, Dave. Right, we move on as usual with the meeting secretary's report. Scott.
A couple more of those. I think that makes it 15, 16. Fresh new referral opportunities shared this week, shared on the green bits of paper. I don't know what's happened on V-Forms, it could be different, but that's that. On the V-Forms, just a reminder for those of you who haven't checked in regularly or experienced it yet, but there's the one-to-one process. We've introduced not just a one-to-one, but a social meetup. Social meetups are just to get together, perhaps a weekend airsoft game, perhaps a trip down the pub on a Friday night. Something that's not quite a full sit-down, deep dive business discussion that you've got together and chatted about. stuff, fill one of those in. A one-to-one is a much more considered, much longer, typically business meeting where you're looking at the development of both the businesses and your histories and all of those. So there are two things to record on there. You choose which one you feel is appropriate as you go forwards. The points for a social were less than they are for a one-to-one. But one-to-ones we want to still capture. So if anyone's got any questions about that, give me a shout.
Yeah, thanks very much, Scott. Right. We now approach the second big part of the meeting, which is the 10-minute presentation.
Thank you very much. Okay, so before I introduce today's speaker, give you an update for the rest of June. So next week on the 12th, Stuart is doing the 10 minutes, and Catherine will provide the education slot.
I've got 20 seconds in my head. I'm glad you sold us that. That's next week. It's not Thursday,
There is
20
the
seconds.
22nd in June, so
Feel free to make
no, we do education slot.
It'll be longer than 20 seconds.
On to the 19th, Dave will be doing his 10 minutes, and I will do the education slot. 26th, Mel will be doing the 10 minutes, and Paul will get you doing the education slot. And finally, into July the 3rd, Dave we're doing the education slot, and Stuart providing the 10 minutes. Stuart will provide the education slot. When it's your turn to do the 10 minutes, please go to the EBF website and download the bio sheet and give it to me a day or two before we into the meeting. Please allow 8 minutes for the presentation, to allow 2 minutes for questions. And don't forget to bring a speaker's prize. And if you can't do your 10 minutes or your ed slot for whatever reason, let me know as soon as possible. Do our best to try and swap things around and get you back on the list as soon as. So today, obviously, we have the lovely Clara Downton from Downton Mortgages and Financial Services, of which she's the owner. Link for the business is mortgages and related insurance. She works UK-wide, but can do expat. I don't know what expat is, but
Expatriates, so people living abroad but are UK citizens.
thank you very much. I now know what expat is. So, a couple of bits about Clara. Her prized possession is a dance medal from Bali. How she relaxes? Dancing, except when she's competing. Something that makes Clara laugh. Now, there's lots of things, but there's nothing better than having a laugh about past events, idiocracies with good friends. And finally, a type of music that Clara likes is anything she can dance to. Hopefully, she will sleep well tonight, so she can dance the weekend away. So please put your hands together for Clara Downton.
Yeah, so the Downton Mortgages and Financial Services has been running a little while, and I've kind of done a couple of these presentations before. So I've kind of usually talk quite a bit about me, but as you can tell from that, dancing has been quite predominant for me lately. So I thought I would focus a little bit less on kind of me today and give you a bit more sort of case studies into clients that I've helped and things like that. So we'll briefly touch on kind of me and who I am, but yes, I spend a lot of time sort of talking more about the clients that I've helped. So me, I live in Stortford. We moved there when I was 1. I've got 3 siblings, an older sister, a younger sister, and my baby brother, which is Shannon's husband, who you all know, because she worked for me. Worked in the city for about 16 years before leaving to work with mortgages, and in 2017 I started as a mortgage advisor for a local firm before I set up on my own 6 years ago. I don't really know where the last 6 years have gone, but there we go. So, what I thought I would do is see if this works. Yeah. So this is our group dance that we run the medal for in Bali. Now the only downside with this video is I am right over here, so look at about 30 seconds and you do see me. But yeah, we did quite a lot of training for this and did actually win the medal for this out in Bali, so it was definitely worth putting in all the effort. There she is.
Yes.
So yeah, I love my dancing, and it is an amazing thing to do. Often I'm just dancing as a pair with people, so it's quite nice to do a team group and actually sort of work. There was people from Hong Kong, Tokyo, sort of various different places. We coordinated sort of before the event, and then had our final practices 2 days before this, and managed to pull it all together pretty well. So yeah, we were all quite chuffed with that progress. So yeah, the business. Business is me and Shannon. We've been working together now for, I think it's 3 years, which is crazy. That's gone by so fast. Shannon looks at the insurance side of things, but she also helps me with a lot of the administrative kind of things. So it's quite a good partnership, just working together with all of that. And kind of the sort of things that we can cover. We can look at residential mortgages, we can look at all sorts of buy-to-let mortgages, and also the equity release mortgages, which I touched quite a lot on in my last presentation. So although I'm going to talk about it as one of my case studies, it's slightly less of a focus of what I'm presenting on today. So just to talk quickly about equity release mortgages, they are for over 55, although there is one or two options for those who are over 50. Generally, I recommend equity release more where people are a little bit older, because in many cases you pay a slightly higher level of interest. The plan is that it's kind of for the longer term, and they can either have the interest paid or you can roll them up. Where you roll them up, if they're a younger person, then that will use up a lot of the equity. So it's something that needs to be considered carefully, but for the right person, it can be a really great option. The other thing to sort of mention with them is usually you'll get a relatively low loan to value. So you'll only get about 25 to 30% of the value of your property usually. So where people have interest only, sometimes that can be a challenge where the property value hasn't increased a huge amount, because obviously if you're clearing an interest only mortgage and you've got 50% mortgage at that point, that's not going to work from an equity release point of view in most cases. So it's things to be considered, but things that I will talk through with clients if it's a potential that it would fit with them. So that's lifetime mortgages. So to talk a little bit on sort of some case studies. The first is an equity release client that I've had. So I had a lady recently. She'd been a very lovely mother. She had gifted an awful lot to her family and got them on the property ladder, and then realised that at the age of 70, nearly 72, she actually didn't have anything left, and she was struggling to pay the bills every month. She was just getting state pension, so she was getting £900 a month. And being honest, when we went through her expenditure, she was spending about £3,000 a month. So there was quite a big shortfall there. So the first task was just to help her understand her level of spending. And she was honest with me. She'd never really sat down and done any kind of budget. They'd always had enough money as a couple. But now she hadn't had her husband around for the last 10 years, and she just kind of carried on where she was. And it was a little bit of a wake-up call to her that actually she couldn't do that. But she did still want to have a better quality of life than £900 a month would give her. So we sat down, we talked about the debts that she had at this point, the amount of money that she needed in the short term to get herself back on an even keel, and the amount that, after kind of taking into consideration some of the sensible changes she could make in her life, that she could comfortably get to. And then we worked out a drawdown that would give her roughly about £1,000 a month, just over, every month for the next 10 years. And that way she knew that, number one, she could clear right now, get herself on a better even keel, and then she would be able to afford to live at a good quality of life for the foreseeable future. And she felt by the time she was in her early 80s that actually she wouldn't need to spend so much. So that was her. Another example of kind of general mortgages, I've seen a lot of clients recently wanting to buy off their landlords. Landlords seem to be quite keen to sell up on their property. So we've been looking at cases where, okay, fine, you want to be able to afford this new property, but I had one client come to me recently and they're like, oh yeah, the mortgage advisor said to me that we should just do it in my partner's name. But actually, I'm putting in all the equity. Well, why are they saying that? Well, I don't earn much, and therefore I'm not great for going on the mortgage. Disagree. There are ways of doing it. There are probably lenders who will consider it. If that's a priority for you, that's what our requirements should be. So we looked at the different options, and yes, okay, there were slightly cheaper options that maybe they could do with just him, but there were good options with both of them. So we've got that mortgage in and processing, and hopefully soon they'll be buying their rental property. So it's really about sort of making sure that I listen to clients. What do they want? What do they need? And how can I best get that objective rather than telling them what they should be doing? So that's really how I work and my objectives when I'm working with clients. So that's just a couple of case studies. We can help with certain protections. I always mention Howard can do things like that as well. And some of the insurances, obviously, James can help you as well. I make sure that when I'm giving people advice on mortgages, they also understand the likely protections that they should take, which is why it's a part of our business too. But we work with the various different people who can also help on these kind of things. So a reminder, I will have a no obligation chat with anybody who needs it. Doesn't matter if it goes anywhere or not. I like to make sure I'm trying to help people. I only charge my fees when I actually go forward to application with people, and I'm very clear as to how much it will be and what it will be. And if your rate is expiring in the next 6 months, I do recommend starting talking at this point. And that is really me as Shannon's daughter. So thank you for listening. Sorry, I think I sped up quite a bit there.
Question?
Question?
Do you anticipate a problem for buy-to-let mortgages with the new Rental Reform Act? Because mortgage companies always want to see an AST with 12 months. We're no longer going to have AST, it's all going to be periodical. There's going to be no guarantees of rental income into the future. It's months of rent and it's gone.
I actually find less and less that lenders are actually asking for the ASTs. Okay. They want to know that there is an agreement in place. But often they will use their their valuers to say how much the rental in that area would be. So I just think they'll rely more and more on that. I do think there's probably changes that will happen in their approaches, but I don't think there'll be fundamental changes that to
Clara, have you ever is there anybody that you would actually just say, don't even try to get a mortgage, or will you always face the challenge and sort of take it on, even if people have got like bad credit or things like that?
I have had clients come to me before who have been told that they can't get a mortgage. And I just say, it might be the case, but in many cases there is a solution. It's just whether or not somebody's willing to pay the cost of that solution. So I actually spoke to somebody last night, and he's only 1 year into a new business, done quite well in his first year. Wife works part-time, got currently an interest-only mortgage, want to keep payments minimal. I was like, but didn't like the option coming from their existing provider. So I said, right, let me have a quick look. I'll give you an indication of whether I think there may be other options, and if not, just stick with who you've got. So I really quickly just plugged in the numbers. So I was like, actually, there could be, a lender that actually would be a better rate and might be an option. So we're going to explore it further. So where I'm not sure, I will try and just kind of do a quick dip my toes in, just have a look and see whether I think there could be an opportunity. And then I'll just go back to the client and say, or it's worth giving me more. So very rarely will I give an outright no, but I will sometimes kind of give indications to the client that I don't think it's going to be a straightforward, easy yes, absolutely.
Last one.
Changes in inheritance tax and the inclusion of pensions on the estates probably going to mean more people can give money away, and that probably means more equity release, quite a lot more equity release. Do you think the rates will come down as more people do it, and they need to become more competitive?
I actually think they're actually relatively competitive at the moment. The last one that I did, the client's rate was about 6%, which when you think about, you know, normal rates are kind of high 3s, low 4s at the moment anyway, and some are in the early 5s. Actually 6% for a lifetime mortgage isn't ridiculous. Yes, I do think they will get more competitive again. You know, there was a point when everything was really low before where I could actually get people 3 to 4% kind of thing. So they aren't as badly priced as people think they are. And for the right person, I really do think they're a great opportunity, especially if they do something like a drawdown, where they're delaying when they pay the interest, but giving them the options for the future. So, such a roundabout way of answering your question, but I do think we are going to see a lot more equity release as people really realise the opportunities that it can give them and the ways they can potentially save for you know, in the future.
Clara, thank you very much. Right, move on now to the referrals to manual round. Clara, if you could do the dancing, that would be great. And let's start, as always, with the naughty corner. We have a new recruit to the naughty corner at the moment, but Paul, you start.
Yeah, I'm better part right there.
I've got to get a 10 country.
Yeah. Well done, Pete, on your excellent, thank you, and really good presentation. Thank you. And welcome to Darren and Sarah. I've got some thank you monies for some current members, Scott, Aidan, Matt and James, and a few ex-members as well, totaling just over 6,000 pounds.
Sorry, I had to dash out. Daughter in a panic just before her final economics A level. Where the fuck? Time. It's the umbrella. But not ideal prep. And I feel slightly bad that she's walking up the hill at Silver School. I'll get over it. You sorted out our mortgages and been brilliant, really lovely, clear advice. So yeah, thank you very much indeed. I have a thank you for the money to Paul, who probably wishes he hadn't quite paid it as quick as he did, as we always did before his class. Drink.
Come easy going. Thanks.
And Franklin, I've been doing some Googling based on so yeah, Brentwood. Right. And I will see you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's absolutely fascinating. My mortgage is up in 6 months. So let's have a chat. That'd be brilliant. We're on holiday, so I'm very one-to-one with Clara this week. But I'm around next week, depending on what I've got. And doing everything else.
Yeah, thanks. In the end, stop, Dad. It's always good to remind about how the relationships are. Great 10 minutes, and I too have been took in with your great advice to help our mortgage, so thank you for that. Welcome to membership, Darren. It's good to sort of hear about you, Sarah, and great to catch up at some point. I had a social one-to-one with Terry on the bikes on Sunday. There we go. Oh, yeah, sure, yeah. There you go. Yeah, look forward to seeing everyone next week.
Well, there's Scott Bailey. It's a really good 10 minutes as well. And welcome to Darren and Sarah. I've just got one for Paul. It's a done deal, Paul. I've got the keys here for the flat, so I'll see you afterwards and sort that out. Thank you.
Yeah, well done, Ben. Good insight. It's always worth being reminded about these things. I know they're all big, but it's worth reminding. Yeah, I loved it. Really
Thank
you for sharing that with us. It was great. Dancing, I can't do too left feet. Slightly music, yeah, great one. Social one from Joshua. I'm not going to say this, but I thought I'm going to say it anyway. It was really windy on Sunday. I thought, what a result having someone Joshua's size sit right behind him with a headwind. That was great. If you want to go for a ride, make sure it's a windy, don't use your man. And I've got one for your good self. We talked about commercial one. I know you don't do them, but you can refer it on something, I think.
Yes.
No worries.
Well done with the head slot today and great presentation.
Thank
and I
you.
went to come for my mortgage advice.
Definitely.
And welcome to the new people. Hope you enjoy coming here and that's all guys. See you all next week. Thank you. Oh, thank you for this as well.
That was great 10 minutes. Thank you. And great, it's what Ben was always mine. Blake, I'm in with like events maybe now at the moment, so I could have a chat about that experience. I won't do it as a referral just yet. And I've also got testimonial to John and Blake. And installed a camera for us. Expert service. Thanks very much.
Welcome to Darren and Sarah. Interestingly, I'm doing weddings. A couple of Darren and Sarah haven't met him yet. Don't know if you two. That's in September. Good hits. Always good to be joined and fabulous 10 minutes. Dancing stuff. I've got a referral for Scott. That's done directly. What have you done? Yeah, thank you very much. I've got a referral for Jane, who is providing a cream and tea voucher for a prize draw price of donating. I've got a referral for Matt and Scott. That's the website for Fine. We've got a meeting about today, and then I've got a one-to-one I had last week with Matt. That's it. That's all for me. Thank you very much. Already walking there.
Yeah.
Yeah, great stuff, Ben. Welcome Sarah and Darren, welcome to the madhouse. Great 10 minutes. You helped me with my mortgage, and I'm now in the house, so we did really well.
It's a lovely house.
It is a lovely house. It is. If I'm the building site opposite.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and Scott, I bought your badge.
Thanks, mate.
Are we going to see it still?
That's the American flag. You must have it.
It keeps launching it.
I was going to get to the excellent presentations, Ben and Clara. You just, I think, finished helping out my good friend's brother, Ray. So thank you for that. Wonderful. Thank you to the Moneys, for Matt, and for an ex-member. So, yeah. I'll dance that down there.
Standing up is my dancing. Clara has provided really excellent help both to my son and daughter, ongoing with my daughter, so I can thoroughly recommend. And Paul, a referral doing the accounts for my son. Thank you very much indeed.
Really 10 minutes as well, because Steve, when we spoke yesterday, you kind of forgot it as well. So how did you this message I got back was, "Are you serious?"
Sharon was going to come today, and then obviously that plan changed because she didn't fancy doing it then.
The fact that you put it together as well so quickly as well, even though you did have 6 weeks' notice, but no, absolutely brilliant. So well done. It was really, I had no doubt it would be brilliant. So well done. Great to see Sarah, and welcome down officially. I'd love to get one-to-ones in with you guys there as well. So, and I know Darren, I've got you down to do a 10 minutes over the next month or so we'll have a one-to-one. I'm getting on this email. I've got a referral there for James. Putting video and cameras for the security on Fleet. You do Fleet, don't you? Yeah. And one for Nick. James was having structural engineer needing to work. Fantastic meeting. Hopefully not being next week. I'll start treatments on Tuesday. So as long as I'm alive, I'll be here.
Positive way to start.
Fascinating. Unfortunately, not here next week. Got work commitments, so I'll be here the following week. But I did put a song on the group chat that I wrote about a minute. Beauty They Are. So you can always listen to that for a couple of minutes to remember me. In case I'm not alive. See you all.
It's a very good.
Oh no, this is one I wrote. A little bit out.
Oh, delete.
Right, well done, Ben, on possibly your last head slot.
That didn't get me branded as a bitch.
Welcome to Darren and Sarah. Welcome to Darren and Sarah. Look forward to find out more about what you do. We're on to Clara. Hopefully, everyone gives me loads of work. James, I'm glad you mentioned that you do insurance, because I was speaking to someone about insurance for about 10 minutes yesterday, and it didn't even occur to me to pass you on, so. Back to insurance. There we go. And thank you for managing to jump around again a few miles away. Lovely, cheers. Quick question. Matt, probably to your guys, have you got an Instagram specialist? Because I want to try and figure out about formats. Can I chat to you about it?
Yeah, I mean, there's great designs for clients.
Yeah, put it in my head.
The grid size has changed. Grid sizes have changed. But it depends on your account as to what. If you look at your grid, some of them are still square, but generally they're all moving to this 4x3. Yeah.
Next, for a little welcome everybody. Great presentation, lovely, and thank you for that. I thought it was really interesting and solidified my belief that I'm in the right place and it's all about people. So I know that. I've got I had a one-to-one with Toby yesterday. Feels like 3 weeks ago. Yes, I know that. You don't know either. Great. Which was really lovely, and it was kindly referred me to a couple of VAs that he knows that I can talk to them and find out really what to do. And I'll be back this week. Love to see you. Have a lovely week.
Yeah, great headslot. We have played that brilliantly. Sorry, not great. Great 10 minutes. Great headslot. I had a one-to-one with Jake. I didn't put the one-to-one in with you, Blake. We're always having one-to-one. Thank you for going for balls. My fingers nearly healed. And if we can have a one-to-one next week, that'd be brilliant after the meeting. Thank you. See you all next week.
Yeah, great. That's part of seeing you dancing. So even if it's just an ankle. We look forward to seeing you on Britain's Got Talent one day. I've got 2 referrals, so it's nice to see you've already started on that. Thank you. But after a new logo name, maybe for diversification. Thank you very much. And one for Jane. I need some restorative brownies for a poorly friend.
Yes.
Thank you. Have a great meeting. I'll see you next week.
Meeting, great 10 minutes. Really interesting. Thank you. And thanks for your recommendation to a bridging loan specialist. Had a good chat with her the other week, so thank you. Great head start, Ben. Really enjoyed that. Good reminder. Welcome, Darren and Sarah. Sarah, I know a VA that's looking for help who does a lot of property, so put in touch. James, I know a few property developers and everyone, so I'll send over some details for you. And Blake, I've got a balloon specialist, so I'll send over the details. Great meeting, see you all next week.
Yeah, fantastic headslot. Ben, great reminder as always. And I love you to lead a big shout out. Perfect. Yes, had a one-to-one with Sarah, excellent one-to-one. And in anticipation of you joining, there's a referral for Sarah. And a referral for Sarah. Which once she's up and running on the systems are.
It's already on the paper. It's when I start moving on.
Right, excellent. Yes, I know a balloon company. I'll have a chat with them and looking forward to Airsoft on Sunday. Social meetup.
It's really interesting. I've got a client who particularly needs a equity release, so that comes off. I'll speak to you. Great. It's not then always great. Dad and Sarah, we'd love to get a one-to-one, even we both here and Sarah. I've got a property lawyer that we need to do. Really enjoying the referral effect. I listened to that. casting the car, that's brilliant, and my husband listened to it, please do. Referral Corey, who isn't here. Anyone's used Martin and Martin services, they are the politest, most loveliest delivery guys. I'm used to Amazon delivery guys launching in. They do a door-to-door service, they're really polite and really good, so I'm just doing very good. That's it. I'm not here for 2 weeks. From next week, I'm after I'm going on holiday. Thank God. And also, okay, so we start.
Thank you. Well done, Clara. Very good. She's been helping friends of ours consider a reverse mortgage or equity release, and they're very grateful for the help so far, and I'm sure that will continue on. Thank you, dear. And well done for the dancing. This is for Blake, a one-to-one, and John, one-to-one. Thank you. Thank you. And Blake, I have already started researching the top event organising ethics, and I've narrowed that down and I'll send it over, and the NCT, who deal with the pregnant mums. This is because you can do pink and blue smoke explosions to reveal the sex of the baby. Green ones, you know, that's and some details of the biggest balloon company in Europe, which happens to be in Bishop Stortford, which I believe. So I'll send that over to Blake. Ben, thank you for starting us off, darling. Business is personal. Everything is personal. You're absolutely right. And welcome to Darren and to Sarah and to Mike coming back. You know, we have had the language of a marvellous vicar for the last 4 weeks. And then the moment the cameras are on again.
Apart from that.
And that's it. Thank you very much.
Well, can I just say one more thing? I forgot to mention, I'm just having the auction of the printers. I've just put it on the chat. So if anyone knows any printing companies, who wants printing equipment,
If anybody wants to set up a printing company, you can get it with that Heidelberg 250 quid. Love a Heidelberg. Here we go. Heidelberg. I've got my glasses on now. How about a Bossa G5 high-speed UV flatbed printer YD?
Yeah, on my side, it was just a thank you to the money for Terry, and one for Josh. Sorry, I've got a little behind on that, and one to Scott. As you said, I helped them and finally came together.
I said, would you?
There. Am I picking?
You are picking? Yes. Today's not very
That's the one.
Where's it from?
From Mike. It's from Mike.
So what you can't read, if it is, it's fine.
Yeah, it looks like, yeah. It's fine.
Hey!
There we go.
Well done.
Thank you very much, Clara, for your 10-minute for your running and for the right at the end. Right, that does bring us to the end of the meeting, but as usual, I throw open the floor for announcements and anything else. Back.
Two announcements. Firstly, more of a community thing. It is actually a really good event. It is the Brentwood Strawberry Fair on Sunday. Lots of little community groups and sports groups and little businesses and chance for you also to network with sort of local council and various other things. But it's a great thing with your friends and family. Go along. It's at King George's playing fields in Brentwood, so it's from 12 till 6. The second thing, which I did put a note around, just a reminder, next Thursday is an event at the Holiday Inn in Brentwood, which is two business chambers, Brentwood Business Chamber and Havering Business Chamber, all coming together. There's already 50 people who signed up. They've got a talk from Barry Hearn, love him or hate him, but he is actually quite an interesting guy. Again, another chance for people that might be interested to sort of branch out a little bit of different type of networking and results.
Thank you, Matt. Yeah.
Just a reminder, unless the property synergy meeting after the meeting, you're welcome if you want to come along.
Yeah, just very quickly again, even though I was on the treatment, and I'm still planning to do a wing walk on the 2nd of August. So thank you everybody who's already donated. If any of you haven't donated, then I can get the link out to do it. So I finished the treatment about 3 days before and to see the surgeon 2 days afterwards. So it's time so I can still stand on top of the plane.
Just give them a referral at the moment.
Yeah. But I thank for everybody that has donated already as well.
Just noticed. Oh, sorry, Jim. Just noticed a big lottery win for us this morning on Scott's Syndicate.
How much?
£2.
£3.
Jane.
31st of August, Paul sent round the details. Please do come along. It's in White Roding, but we've got support and fun going on, such as the Hammonds are bringing all sorts of golf competitions and things in the garden. There'll be more than you imagine. It'll be lots of fun. Please do attend.
Thank you, Jane.
The Parents Association charity that I'm chair of, we've got School Summer Fete on the 5th of July. If anyone wants to advertise in the programme for the day, we get about 700-800 people along, all from nice middle class families in Wales, Essex. It's a really good opportunity, and it's cheap as chips, and it's a charity thing actually doing it for you. So just give me a shout if you invest in advertising.
Right. Anything else? No. Normally, I glory in sending you out on a sunny day. Today it's the opposite, but probably we're just as happy to get down the hall and be able to water the garden. So I sent you out into the rain. But hopefully you have a good day, you have a good week, and you all come back next week.
Yay!